Hey, I'm Jusko from ProudMoney.com. The Chase Freedom Flex card adding a 5% top spend category to the rewards on the card for the fourth quarter of 2021 in addition to everything else that the card offers. We're going to break down what that means, but first I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not already, and if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So Chase sort of mysteriously and in a little bit of a backdoor way has added this 5% top spend category to its Chase Freedom Flex card for the fourth quarter of 2021, which we are already in. And this is addition to everything that the card already offers. So this is going to give you the opportunity to potentially earn 5% cash back or 5 points per dollar on your purchases in some purchasing category, maybe that the card doesn't already offer 5% or 3% or whatever. Or you potentially could stack the rewards from this top spend category with some of those categories that the card already is offering 5% or 3% in. So potentially you could get up to 9% cash back or 9 points per dollar in some of the categories. So let's see how that could work. So as I'm making this video, Chase has not sort of publicly announced this 5% top spend category, but it's right there on the Chase Freedom Flex frequently asked question page, and other websites have reported on this as well. So you got your regular questions, and right in the bottom it talks about this 5% top spend category. So I assume it's not a targeted offer since anyone can see the details of it, but it's not really showing anywhere else on any Chase website. So it is a little strange. But anyway, the details of the deal: 5% cash back or 5 points per dollar in the purchasing category where you spend the most from the beginning of October through the end of December once you have activated to get the 5% categories that the card normally offers. So those categories are preset in terms of the top spend categories, and they include travel and dining and grocery stores and home improvement stores, drugstores, gas stations, select live entertainment, select streaming services, and fitness clubs. So Chase automatically looks at your purchases in all of those categories, and wherever you spent the most during that last quarter, they're going to give you that 5%. You'll get that after the quarter is over, so in early 2022. Now you might notice that there is a potential overlap between those 5% top spend categories and some of the categories where the Chase card is already giving you an enhanced reward. So the Chase Freedom Flex, 3% on dining, 3% at drugstores, 5% through the Ultimate Rewards travel portal, and then 5% on those rotating categories, which for the fourth quarter are PayPal and Walmart. So you're getting 5% on up to $1,500 of purchases at PayPal or Walmart. So if you have a top spend category that overlaps, what is going to happen is that they are going to stack on top of each other. If your top spend category does not overlap with any of those other categories, well, then you would get your 5% or your 5 points per dollar on that category, and then you would get the normal points that you would get for any other purchases that you made with the card. So the way that works specifically, let's say that you decided, well, I am going to kind of work my spending so that I spend the most on home improvement stores, and I'm going to pay for them with PayPal. Well, what would happen is you've got the PayPal 5% on that end over there, because that's one of the rotating categories. That's where you're going to get 5% for the fourth quarter. But if you made your top spend home improvement stores, well, then you could also be getting 5% there. So what would happen is you stack those on top of each other, and you would actually get 9% on those purchases at the home improvement stores when you purchased through PayPal. Now you might be saying to yourself, well, Adam, 5% plus 5% is 10%. I can do that math. Why are you saying 9%? And the reason is because the way Chase kind of breaks things out is there is a 1% base reward that you get on all your purchases. And when they talk about 5% categories, what that really means is there's the 1% base reward and then an extra 4%. So when you have a stacking situation with Chase, you have that base 1% and then you have the extra. So you've got 1%, 4% on the PayPal end, 4% on the home improvement end, which overall would give you 9%. And then just to continue with that confusing math a little bit more, if your top spend category was dining, which normally would give you a 3% reward, and you were getting a 5% reward for it being your top spend category, well, actually, overall, you would get a 7% reward, because again, you would have that 1% base that is sort of shared between both ends of that reward, and then you get the extra 2% on the normal Freedom Flex reward and the extra 4% through this special fourth quarter offer. So 1% base plus 2% plus 4 equals 7%. So the way you could actually sort of think of these things stacking is look at what the normal amount is that you would get and add 4 to it because of the sort of weird math that we're doing here. So if you could stack those rewards and you could max them out, you could potentially get yourself up to a 9% reward on up to $1,500 worth of spending. So if you did max that out, 9% reward on $1,500 is going to give you 13,500 points from Chase, which you could think of as $135 of cash, or it could use those points in other ways, obviously. Now, if you didn't stack, you actually could earn a little more in points, a little more in cash back in those 5% categories, but you'd have to spend a little more to do it. So let's say your top spend category was gas. If you spent $1,500 on gas and you got 5% in that category, well then you still could max out that PayPal or Walmart category, or that PayPal and Walmart category at $1,500, and then you would get 5% from PayPal Walmart, 5% from the gas stations, but you would spend $3,000 in order to do it. So you get 15,000 points, or $150 if you're talking about cash back on $3,000 worth of spend, but you'd be maxing out both of the 5% categories that you had available to you. And then a couple last points to make here. Number one is that this offer is only on the Chase Freedom Flex card from everything I can tell. So if you have the old Chase Freedom Visa card, that is not part of this extra top spend category offer. And then secondarily, sort of just an interesting point here is that these top spend 5% categories for the fourth quarter on the Chase Freedom Flex card are almost exactly the same as the potential 5% categories on the Citi Custom Cash card, where you get 5% back on your purchases and wherever you spend the most each month, and that's on up to $500. So it's almost an exact match of what the Citi Custom Cash is offering, but just for these 3 months, which just happen to be the biggest spending months of the year. Now you might say to yourself, hey, I already spent $1,500 on my Chase Freedom Flex card in this fourth quarter on other things in order to max out that PayPal or max out that Walmart. Is that going to count towards the top spend category? Well, that's going to depend on what it is that you purchased. If you made purchases of things through PayPal, but they don't fall into any of those categories we just talked about, well then those aren't going to count toward your top spend, or at least you're not going to be able to stack them. Or if you made all your purchases at Walmart, Walmart really doesn't fall into any of those top spend categories because, for example, grocery excludes Walmart, and none of those other categories are exact matches for Walmart. So you'd have to make some purchases in other categories in order to take advantage of that 5% top spend category. So it's a little unfair to add the top spend category after the quarter has already started, but that is where we are. So it's a little confusing, right? But it's better to get an extra 4 or 5% on top of what you thought you were getting from the Chase Freedom Flex card than to only get what the card was already offering. So you can only complain so much. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts about how you are going to use the card for these last few months of the year, I would love to hear them in that comment section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching. And as always, please go to proudmoney.com, where we do credit card reviews. We talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. Thanks for watching. Bye.